Well, I had a job from the time I was old enough to work in the field. My first job on the farm was carrying water to the other workers in the field who were chopping cotton or picking peanuts or doing things like that. And I would go to the nearby spring. It bubbled up out of the ground then, a lot of them. And I would get a bucket of water and carry it to the field, and the workers there would drink water, and I'd go back and get some more. It was a very difficult job. When I got to be about 5 or 6 years old, my daddy let me have peanuts out of his field, beginning in, I'd say, early July, when school was out. And I would go into the field every afternoon, pull up peanuts out of the ground where they grow, and take them back to our house in a little red wagon that I pulled, and pick the peanuts off the vine and wash them good and put them in salt water. And the next morning I'd get up about 4 o'clock in the morning and boil my peanuts and with salt, and then put them in little paper bags, half a pound each, about 20 of them on an average. And I would walk down the railroad track about 2 miles to Plains, and I would sell 20 bags of peanuts, usually before dinner time, lunchtime. And that gave me an income of $1 a day, because the peanuts were 5 cents a bag, 20 of them. And I was making as much income as the average full-grown adult that worked in the fields for $1 a day, from before daybreak until after sundown. So I had a fairly good income as a little child. And it was hard work, and when I got back home, I would eat dinner with my family, lunch, and then I would go out in the field in the afternoon and start the process all over again. On Saturdays, I would do about twice as many, about 40 bags of peanuts, and because I worked all day downtown selling my product. And so I had a good job. Later, when I got to be, I'd say, high school age, I formed a partnership with my first cousin, Hugh Carter, in the old bank building, which is now a restaurant in Plains. And we would sell ice cream and hamburgers. 3 dips of ice cream for a nickel, 5 cents, and a big hamburger for 5 cents. And I would also then put my peanuts on the counter, and I'd sell peanuts along with the hamburgers and ice cream. So I was a business person, you might say, beginning when I was 5 or 6 years old, all the way up until I went off to college. My daddy had a farm supply business before I came home from the Navy in 1953. And I took over that small business of buying peanuts and so forth and expanded it over time. My mother was a partner with me, and my youngest brother Billy was a partner when he came back home from the U.S. Marines. And so we sold fertilizer and seed for planting, and feed for livestock, and insecticides to control the insects in the fields. And then in the harvest time, we bought peanuts from the farmers and corn, whatever they had for a surplus. A little bit later on, after a few years, I built a cotton gin. So we ginned farmers' cotton, and I had storage warehouses to put the cotton in. So we bought and sold peanuts and cotton on a very large scale, and dealt with about I'd say 200 farmers in supplying their needs for what they planted in the spring, the fertilizer and so forth, and how they grew their crops. So I would quite often sell all of that material for the farmers to plant on credit, and then they would pay me by bringing me their crops when they harvested in the fall, bringing in the cotton and peanuts.